Good evening. Good evening. Hope you are well. Hope you are doing good. What an amazing year. 2025, an amazing year, the year that the Lord has made. We give God the glory for giving us an opportunity to be alive. We give God the glory for helping us to come into 2025. I just want to know where you are tuning in from. Where are you? What's happening? Where I am, it's raining, it's pouring. Cats and dogs. What's happening where you are? What's happening where you are? Let's go in the chat. And please do me a favor. If you can just warm up in this room and just post the emoji that, expressing how you are feeling tonight, because it's going to be an amazing, amazing evening. So kindly post that emoji that is expressing how you are feeling. Post that emoji so that, whatever energies that you are going to have as you are going to listen to the conversation, we are going to just have an amazing conversation this evening. Thank you so much. I see you all, and I'm so grateful for tuning in this time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I see you all. I may not call you name by name, but I see all your greetings. I see where you are tuning from. I appreciate. All right. So without further ado, I would like to welcome you to 2025. It is a year of come up either. It is a year of leveling up. You've got to level up. In other words, there is a way in which you need to move from where you have been, from where you've been complaining, from whatever has been happening in your life. You've got to climb up the stairs and get to a place where things can change in your life. It is important for you to make a decision to actually change your environment, change the situations going on in your life. So we have prepared so many things that will be taking place as we are running 2025. There are so many things that we want you to achieve, and I am going to be a little more strict this year. I think the past years, somehow we thought you could manage yourselves, and therefore I left some of the things hanging. And as a result, when we were getting into December, some of you did not really fulfill the things that you should have fulfilled. So this year, I want to promise you, we are going to micromanage you. And I mean it. We will haunt you. We will harass you. And I've hired a team that is going to be in your inbox. If you are going to make a decision to be part of us in 2025, Project Life Design, God has given us a mandate to help each and every individual to build their brands, to help each and every individual to internationalize their brands, to help each and every individual to ensure that you build your digital footprint. You have no choice. We are in an era where you cannot compromise your brand. And for the first quarter of this year, I am going to be at the door of your social media. We will inspect your social media handles. We will inspect what is going on. And trust me, I have a well able team that will be helping me to carry the mandate. So please, if you feel 2025, there's still a lot of things you need to do that are making you busy, I may not be your mentor in 2025. That doesn't mean we are enemies. It just means that this particular year, you may not manage what we want you to achieve, and therefore we are going to see you in 2026. We will still be friends, we can still talk, but for you to be part of where we are going in 2025, You may have to excuse yourself, because what we want to implement, we do not want excuses. Many times when we've listened to excuses and busy schedule, there is no person who has 36 hours. There is no person who has 48 hours. We all have 24 hours. And so what matters is basically to prioritize that which you want to achieve. So we will be sharing things that we have prepared for you. And the first thing that we want to do tonight is to show you what it means to set your goals. And let me tell you something, these goals, you are going to be in the pitch. You will play your number. As your coach, you will score. You will hit those penalties. You will play your number and you will make it this year. I'm here to handhold you until you get to that place that you have, you know, you have wished to attend to. So I am your confidant. I am somebody who will be there to anchor you and push you to your destiny. So in this goal setting, we have put 3 months where we want to handhold you, ask you specific questions that you're going to answer to. And we are going to send you a template where you are going to answer with the examples that you're going to receive this evening before I invite the speaker. I want you to know you are going to be shown what to do and you are going to be guided. Yours is to follow through. Yours is to show up. Show up, show up, show up. I want you to write in the chat. Show up, show up, show up. That is all what I require from you. This first quarter, I'm emphasizing on the first quarter because the moment you do it right in the first quarter, you would have laid a powerful foundation for the 3 months. The moment you do well, you will see that these other months we're just going to be topping up. So there are several things we are going to be doing that will help you to achieve those goals. There is going to be some partnerships that we are taking you to. There's going to be conferences outside Zambia. Get your passport ready. There's going to be conferences outside South Africa, Malawi, Namibia. You are not going to remain behind. Get ready because there are a lot of beautiful things that needs to be achieved concerning your life. So far, we have a team of almost 30 people that are going to the New York in March. And this has been as a result of their hard work and working on their brands. You are next to level up. You are the one who has to receive those awards. You are the one who has to internationalize your brand. And most of you, some companies will see you. There's going to be sponsors who will speak on your behalf because of your digital footprint that you're going to build, that you're going to create. This year, we are also going to have a big workshop in Lancaster, the UK. I'm carrying a team of people for us to go and have a big conference there. Those who have done ICCP and SET, those who know Dr. Akanimo Odon, he is putting up a big conference in the UK, and we have to start preparations now. And listen to me. I am only carrying along those people I am moving with in this first quarter, those people who are going to submit their goals. Those are the only people that I'm going to be traveling with in different, nations and different opportunities that are going to show up. Those are the people who will receive preference when you have submitted your goal document. So, without further ado, I hope you've understood how we are going to run the year, and we will be explaining over and over for you to understand. I am going now to invite our expert, our HR expert, who has worked with me for so many years, one of my mentees who has really, really shown commitment and has grown her brand, soon to be an author. And please put your virtual hands together as we welcome Dr. Joyce Kasapo. Dr. Joyce, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nellie, for that introduction. Sometimes you really wouldn't even know what to say after your mentor has spoken, but today this has to be done. And good evening, everybody. I saw those from Malawi, Namibia, I saw Cameroon, I saw South Africa, Zambia. Just please confirm in the
Dr.
chat
Joyce, you
box.
can
Just
take up.
thank you. All righty. So if you are here with us tonight, I would just like to see some expression in the chat box. If you're able to hear me loud and clear, please just indicate that you're able to hear me loud and clear. Tonight is an exciting night, and I am privileged to be speaking to each one of you. It's a rare opportunity that I do not take for granted. So I just want to see that everybody is able to hear me loud and clear. And Sama, just give me a thumbs up that you will be ready to pull up the slides. Visual is one of my greatest strengths because it helps me. Please confirm you are able to hear me. Please confirm. Please confirm. Please confirm you are able to hear me. Please confirm. All right. Thank you for confirming that you're able to hear me. So tonight, as Dr. Nellie has preempted, we are looking at leveling up your vision, leveling up your vision, leveling up your vision. Thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you so much, Frida, that you're able to hear me. So we get going. Sama, please, if you can pull up the slides as I just get to give an introduction why we are doing this. Dr. Nellie has preempted that we are leveling up this year. And what that entails is that you really need to have a strategy. Just like a football team, I know a lot of us on the core are either diehard fans for either a UEFA champion Europe team or a Zambian team if you support any Zambian team. So any team that you see, even a company where you work, for them to achieve what they need to achieve, which is their vision of a company, there is what they put together as a strategic plan or a goal-setting session where they put up things that they are going to work towards in order to achieve their vision. So one of the things that you really need to understand is that you can never actually turn a goal if you don't have a vision. So what is your vision? As we have begun the year 2025, when you look at your personal life, what is your vision? Because that vision is the one that propels you to set your goals. It's the one that helps you. Just like any football team, the essence of them playing is that they would want to win either a UEFA Championship League, or they would want to win a La Liga, or they would want to win an MTN CAF Championship. And because they have that vision that they want to attain the topmost in either a club level or maybe even at a national level, or even when they want to go to World Cup, they have to come up with goals of how they will ensure that they get to where they want to get. So whatever you're thinking about your 2025, you really need to have a plan of how you get to where you want to get. So what do you want to achieve in 2025? What is your vision for 2025? So if you're sharing in the chat box, you can, if you are willing to do that, please share what your vision for 2025 is, right? So when you know what your vision for 2025 is, it propels you to set goals that helps you to achieve that vision that you have for 2025. Like myself, I'm running with a theme under Project Life Design, which is level up and elevate. My vision this year is for me to level up and elevate in my career, level up and elevate in my business, level up and elevate in my relationships, level up and elevate in my spirituality, level up and elevate in the other things that I'm very passionate about. So, what is your vision for 2025? So, it's very important to always have a vision for 2025 that helps you to run with goals. So, as we'll be discussing today, as Dr. Nellie has preempted, we have a 3 month transformative program around goal setting, coaching, and mentoring those PLD mentees and those that would like to join this particular network. I see quite a number of people that are new that are on the core, and the WhatsApp group that you have been added to is an important place where you can ask questions. And if you are joining PLD or you're joining the session for the very first time, like I was introduced, my name is Dr. Joyce Kasapo. I am your career and high performance coach, meaning I'm very passionate about you succeeding in your career and being a high performer, because I'm definitely a high performer. So I believe in high performance. You need to be productive. And one of the things that makes you productive in life is if you have goals that you are chasing, goals that you're following through end to end. If I have an audience right now, I would like to see the yes, 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 as we get to the next slide. So the next slide that I just want to share, it's one of the quotes, the quotes of very important people that I like to quote, and just to preempt why goal setting is very important. So Nsama, if you can just get to the next slide as we just get to discuss that. So sometimes people think goal setting is not necessary. Sometimes people think goal setting is a sheer waste of time. But I can guarantee you that goal setting is an important tool that helps you to get ahead in life. I can tell you that I have been setting goals as far back as my university days, even when they were not structured, but I had an idea actually that this is what I would like to achieve and this is what I would like to achieve. And I can assure you that from the time that I've been at the university till now, most of the goals that I'd planned, even from university, at university, when I was doing my first degree, I said I would like to do a master's. And by the way, I ended up doing 2 masters. And I told myself I would like to be a doctor. And currently I am a doctor and enrolling for another one for 2025, a doctorate that I would like to pursue. So these are some of the people that have inspired me around goal setting. If you are a network marketer or a personal development person that is passionate about personal development, you know there's a guy called Tony Robbins. He says setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. So when you look at your vision, you do not have it tangibly in your hands right now. When you think about what you want to do in 2025, you do not have them right now in your hands where you can see it physically. But what happens is that when you set your goals, the things that you're thinking in your mind, the things that you're imagining, oh, I would like to buy a car, I would like to do my doctorate, how wearing that gown will feel like. It's an invisible part of you. And as you set your goals and lay them down and have somebody that helps you to run through, they become visible. So one of the things why we set goals is that it helps you. It's the first step to push you to from what you are thinking in your mind to bringing it as a reality. That's Tommy Robbins. The next person that inspires me around goal setting, and that is Zig Ziglar. And if you are a leadership mentor or a protege and very passionate about leadership and personal development, Zig Ziglar is one of the people that is big in that industry. He says a goal properly set is halfway reached. I don't know if that makes it resonates with you, meaning that a goal that you properly set, you are halfway to attaining what it is that you want to attain. Meaning that there are times that you set goals, but they are not properly set. Right? So that's why we are here today, because most of us, if I had to ask in the room, do you plan for your year? Do you set resolutions? Do you set and plan for your year? Most of you here, you're going to tell me yes. But the question that comes in is, do you set your goals properly? And that's why we are here tonight, that this year will be a different year, that when you set a goal, you achieve it. And when you set a goal properly, half of the work has been done. The other half is just implementation. And that's why this 3 months transformative goal setting program has been set out for you, that we can help you through the process of ensuring that you attain your goals for 2025. Aren't you tired of planning and planning the year after year and procrastinating over your goals? Aren't you tired? Wouldn't you want to have a beautiful 2025 where you get to achieve your goals and tick them out and say, I did achieve that, I did achieve this, and I'm happy about it? All right, so that's why we're here. Another quote that inspires me is a quote by Antoinette de Saint, right? It says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So most of us, we can say, I would like to have a car in 2025. But as long as you do not plan on how you're going to buy the car, you're just wishing. And most of us over the years have been wishing to have marriages, wishing to have cars, wishing to be promoted as a manager, wishing to be a leader in your church. As long as you do not plan how you are going to become promoted, how you're going to buy a car, how you're going to meet a guy. Because look, if you say you want to get married this year, you can't be locking yourself in the house. Do you have time to go out to a mall, to a church, to a function? Because you're not going to find a man in the house. So that is the planning side of things. And that is why we are here tonight, to ensure that you have a goal that has a plan, so that it moves from you just wishing to making it a reality. If I have an audience right now, I would like to hear a resounding yes and yes and yes and yes. All right, I'll move to the other quote so that we can quickly run. The other quote is by Diane. Diane says, goals are just dreams with deadlines. Some of us have had goals as far back as 10 years ago. We're still talking about that goal, that plan you had 10 years ago. So anytime you have a goal, ensure that there's a deadline attached to it. Most of us like to just say, I would like to buy a car, but when? I would like to get promoted, but when? I would like to build a house, but when? So one thing you need to understand is that a goal is a dream with deadlines. So goal setting is about you speaking out your dreams, and how do these dreams become a reality is for you to attach deadlines to it. Lastly, but not the least on this slide, before we go to the next slide, is that it's a quote, right? It's a quote by Fitzberg. The quote says, without goals and plans to reach them, you are like a ship that has set sail with no destination. I hope you heard that. It says, without goals and plans to reach them, right? So firstly, without goals, and again, without plans on how you're going to reach those goals, you are like a ship that has set sail with no destination. Most of us run through the year, sailing through the year without a destination. At the end of it, we will just sail through in 2025, and we're in December, and come another year like that. One thing I always tell people is that time waits for nobody. So you can't afford to be moving your goals year after year. No, I haven't achieved it in 2024. I'll achieve it in 2025, or I'll achieve it in 2026. One thing is that time is moving, and factors beyond your control are also moving. So I'm hoping that tonight will give you a burden, will give you a burning desire for you to start 2025 right. We are only 10 days in 365 days. So we have quite a number of days where we can make a difference. I hope there are people in the house and they're excited as we get into the next slide of this particular segment. Yes, Grace, planning is very important. Okay, So why most of the times that we do not achieve certain goals, or certain goals are not achieved correctly, is that we have not understood the principles of goal setting. They are principles of goal setting. They are principles of goal setting. And if you understand the principles of goal setting, you are definitely set for success. You're definitely set for success. So, one of the principles that you need to carry this year is to understand that in order for you to successfully achieve your goals, you need to set your goals around the wheel of life framework. The Wheel of Life framework is a framework that shows you that you need to balance out your life. You can't just be setting financial goals year in, year out. You can't be setting just business goals year in, year out. You are a whole person, and as a whole person, you have different facets of your life. And what is important is that as you set goals for 2025, I would like you to look at the wheel of life. So, the wheel of life entails that there are different areas of your life that you really need to give focus to, and the ones that really need attention. Some of us, you find that our careers are excelling to the top notch, but our family and relationships, either at home or at with friends, are suffering. And in our setup as Project Life Design, we believe that you are a whole person, you are a spirit that has a soul and lives in a body. And because you are a tripartite being, your whole life has different facets that you need to attend to. So when we look at the wheel of life, you need to have, first and foremost, you need to plan and create goals around your career. And we always associate career and purpose. We believe in you having what we call career equilibrium. Career equilibrium is where your job that you are doing right now, if you work in the corporate, or you're in an NGO, or if you work in a corporate like myself, what I do in the corporate finds expression with the purpose that I have and the passions that I have. Right now, what you see today, you seeing me speak tonight, is the passions I have around career coaching and high performance coaching. But when you find me in the corporate front, I'm an HR person, meaning that my career and my personal passions have found expression within one set of myself. So, one of the goals that you need to set is around your career and your purpose. You also need to set financial goals. Financial goals entails how you're going to reduce your expenses, how you're going to enhance your savings, what kind of investments are you going to do this year, what kind of debt are you going to avoid, and how are you going to plan around your finances. And the finances here, we talk about insurance. So you need to also have insurance. So that's a totality of finance, and you really need to have goals in that sense. There's another part of your life, which is physical health and emotional well-being. How are you taking care of yourself? Like most churches, this first month of the year, most churches are fasting. And besides the spiritual side of fasting, there's also what we call intermittent fasting in the health industry. So, how are you taking care of yourself? Do you just only junk up on Hungry Lion and KFC? Or are you eating healthy? You need to have goals around that. How is your weight? Would you like to reduce your weight? This is where we are talking about that. There's also emotional well-being. How well are you taking care of your emotions? How well are you taking care of yourself, that you're not having emotional burnout, right? So that's one part you need to also set goals for. Set goals around your business. I always tell people, I'm a corporate person, and I always tell people, especially that also in an HR space, I always tell people, besides you being in the corporate world, can you have a business that you're doing of your own? If you're in business, think about the goals. How are you going to revamp your business? How are you going to expand your business and all those things? So you need to plan around that. You need to plan around relationships. Relationships, there are key relationships in my life. One of the key relationships in my life is the key relationships with my parents. There's a key relationships with my siblings. There's a key relationships with my daughter. There's a key relationship with my mentor. So those relationships are really important to me, and I plan on how I will nourish them in a given year. I'll plan whether I'm going to do a birthday, we're going to go out, or anything like that. So you really need to plan. Some of us, we take, especially parents, we take for granted that, yeah, they are my kids, but how often do you plan and be deliberate about having goals around your family, around friends, around your mentor, and all? One other goal that you need to speak in the area of your life is personal growth and education. Some of us, we last went to a formal education maybe 10 years ago, and we have not done even a certification or a little training. And I'm glad that you have joined this session. This session is part of personal growth. So I congratulate you for starting the year, the 10th day of January, by attending a goal session. So this session has added some personal growth to you. And I know by the end of this session, you're not going to be the same person that joined this call. All right. So you also need to make goals around your spirituality. I believe each person has a sense of spirituality that they submit to. And whatever it is that you submit to, and from my end, I submit and believe in God. So there are certain goals that I set around spirituality and how I want to enhance it in any given year. So it's something that you need to think about and make goals around it. And I know some of you laugh. Fun and recreation. Yes, fun and recreation. You need to plan for fun and recreation, right? You need to plan for fun and recreation. You need to get out of business, get out of work, get out of your career, and just go and have fun. Set a time where you make a plan. If you can't go abroad to the States or London, go to, even Chaminuka, go to Livingston, go to Siavonga. Have some time in your life where you can have some fun and recreation. If I have an audience, do you agree that we need to have goals around fun and recreation? I can just be talking like this, then thinking that everybody thinks we should have fun and recreation. I believe in fun and recreation. If you do, please also say yes, so that I know that I'm not the only one that believes in fun and recreation. Then lastly, but not the least, you can add as many focus areas of your life as possible. But around the spheres of project life design, we focus on this. Lastly, but not the least, around the wheel of life is contribution, give back, and social impact. We believe in giving back to society. We believe in making social impact. So one of the goals you need to make this year is, how are you going to give back to your community? How are you going to give back to your church? How are you going to give back to whichever sector of your life, and how you spend it? Part of my giving back this year, I'm going back to my high school in Imporokoso sometime this year, just to give back. I'll have some career sessions there. I'll have certain talks with the girls and so forth. So that's my way of giving back, because that school helped me to be who I am today. And I feel mandated that I need to give back to that school. All right, quickly, I just wanted to make sure that we understand the wheel of life. One other thing that I'm not going to even take much time around is that one of the principles of goal setting is that you need to have SMART goals. I know, look, we have been talking about SMART goals. I think I've heard about SMART goals as far back as university, and I really don't want to preempt. But all I just want to say is that every time you make your goals, they need to be specific. They need to be you need to measure them. You need to achieve them. Sometimes some of us will set goals like, I want to go to the moon. Are you sure that's achievable, right? Unless you're an astronaut or you're working for NASA, maybe that can be achievable. So you need to set up goals that you can achieve, set up goals that are relevant, because sometimes people will just set up very irrelevant goals, if you have ever heard of such things. And lastly but not the least, like we heard from one of the quotes, or one we saw one of the quotes, is that your goal has to have a deadline. So because that deadline is what pushes you to get to the other side. So if I have an audience, I would like to know that I have an audience, and just give me an expression, give a comment on how you are finding the session so far. One other thing that we have failed to do over the years, and one other thing I noted over the years why I had challenges to achieve certain goals, is I didn't have an accountability partner. I can guarantee you, following through goals can be stressful at times, especially if certain things are not going in your way, and it can be very stressful. So one of the things I want to aid you this year is that as you set your goals, find an accountability partner. And I know these first 3 months, Project Life Design has mentors and accountability partners that will help you to achieve your goals this year. Find an accountability partner, right? Sometimes your accountability partner can be your peer, right? Somebody like a friend. You just tell your friend, hey friend, this year these are my goals, and I just want you to just check in with me on a quarterly basis, check with me on a monthly basis, just to ensure that I have my goals set. And another accountability partner that you can have, and for me that I also utilize most, is my mentor. So I have every year, I have a session with my mentor, which I'm yet to have later this week or next week, where I'm going to speak about my goals and how I need support from my mentor. So find an accountability partner that helps you to just keep you in check, because sometimes I can tell you, life can be overwhelming. So many things can be happening in your life, but you just need that person that pulls you up and say, hey Joyce, you can do it, you can make it, keep on, let's go, let me drag you, push you, and push you around. What happens when you do not have an accountability partner? This is where you begin to change goalposts, right? You begin to change goalposts of your goals that you had set, and begin to tell yourself, oh, first I'll do this, maybe I'll push it next week, maybe I'll do it another month. I used to do that. I don't know about you. There were times I would look at a goal, and because I don't have any person that is checking on me how I'm faring with my goals, I'll just change. Instead of this month, I'll push it. I need to achieve it in July. Then July arrives, I haven't finished it. Then I push myself to the other side. So that is what we are saying, that you need to have an accountability partner. One other thing and a principle that you need to attend is the principle of visualizing your goals. So if you saw on the previous slide, and Sama, if we can just quickly just go back to the previous slide, I'll be winding down on that one. The previous slide that we're on is that you need to visualize, and this is what I'm going to show you in the next few slides. You need to visualize what you want to achieve. And personally, what I do over the years, I used to have physical vision boards for long term. But right now I have yearly vision boards, and I'm going to show you, and I do digital because I've seen over the years, I've had sacks and papers of different vision boards, and I'm not so sure what to do with them anymore, because they're piled up in one of the suitcases now, because the rooms were filling up at some point. So I decided to go digital, and I'll show you how I achieved my 2024 with visual, without words. Then lastly, but not the least, around the principles of goal setting, is that you need to use what we call the psychology of pain and pleasure. Always attach an emotion to a goal that you're setting. If you're going to set a goal around your finances, attach either pleasure of how you're going to feel when you have 1,000,000 kwacha in your bank. That feeling will help you push the goals that you want to push. So you need to understand the psychology of pain and pleasure and attach it to goals, because when you visualize how much pain will cause you for not achieving that goal, you sit up and start pushing your goals. Because why we fail to achieve is that you're not attaching any emotion. You're not attaching either pain, you're not attaching either pleasure. in your goal setting. And this year, as we'll be sitting with each one of you that will be interested to get into this 3 month program, we'll ask you what emotion have you attached to the goals that you have set? Is it pen, and is it pleasure? All right. So the next slides are my practicals, because sometimes people will think, no, we just talk about these things. People just don't know why we talk about these things. But I want to show you how I've planned my 2025. And when I plan my 2025, I always make sure I've reviewed my 2024, my previous year, the goals that I've achieved, and also highlight challenges I faced, because that component of reviewing your challenges as well is very important. So that when you start planning for 2025, you really know exactly what you shouldn't repeat in the following year. All right. Then from there, I look at what my focus for 2025 is. And like I've said, what I am going to show you here, I've put visuals of the goals that I achieved, and I've also put visuals of the goals that I've planned. Then the last part of the slides that we're going to look at tonight, because I think we're remaining with about 19 minutes and I should be done in the next maybe 15 minutes, and we'll leave some time there. We're just going to outline what our 3 months goal setting, accountability, coaching, and mentoring program looks like. So I am giving you a sneak peek into my life, just for you to see what I do around my life and how I've been able to achieve certain things in 2024 and the things that I am planning for 2025. So in summer, let's get going into my 2024 goals. All right. So when we'll be giving out the full template for goal setting, there are certain slides that show you like your goal setting tracker, where when you pick a goal, you indicate what you're going to do to achieve that goal and when that goal will be achieved. So that detail we haven't attached in here, but here I'm just giving you the visual. Remember I told you about having a visual? So this is how my 2024 looked like. When you look at the first photo there, you see big on family. So I made sure that last year I did a New Year's lunch for the family and we held it at my dad's place. So I really loved to do that. So you can see the family there. The next one is spirituality. I'm very big on spirituality. And last year, I was big. I started the year with fasting and prayer and reading the word. There's a certain level of spirituality that I wanted to attend in the given year. So if you see the following photo, that's my mentor and myself. And if you were at the Real Woman Summit last year, you know that I was the Real Woman Summit manager for 2024. And I spent some time with my mentor as well. So that relationship is very important for me. And that task of being a Real Woman Summit manager was very important because the summit was successful and I was happy about it. So because I'm an HR expert, Owen is a good friend of mine. We have known each other from the university days. That's why it's very important to know your networks and keep your relationships. So Owen invited me to speak on the KBN station on labor matters because I'm an HR expert and I went to voice out my opinion. I also spoke at the communication bootcamp with my mentor and a colleague, Coach Bupe, and we had an amazing session last year. And like I always say, I'm a high performance coach, so I live by my words. So if you can see the certificate in the corner there, it says unique contributor. That is the highest level of performance in Baobab or MTN. And last year, meaning 2023, getting 2024, I was a unique contributor and the company recognized me for my performance. Well, as I said, I'm very big on spirituality. If you see there, that's my daddy bishop, Bishop Jacob Kangwa. He was ordaining me as a deacon pastor there. And so besides being a career guru, and I'm also a pastor, so I'm very big on spirituality in that sense. There you go. You see me. There's land for sale. I went to buy land. That was a big thing for me as well last year because I believe in having roots and I bought a piece of land. So that for me was exciting. So education fund, I have a daughter and I'm planning for her high school. I intend to chase her out of my house by the time she'll be going into her grade 8. So I have opened an education fund and I have been saving towards it every year. So it's growing so that in the next 5 years, when she gets into college, or not college, when she gets into high school, she will be able, I shouldn't stress about her school fees. All I will do is cash out and pay for her school fees. If you see there's a little bit of healthy things there. So I'm very big on health. I was slightly smaller than now. So I am paying attention to my health and have got supplements and different things that I'm taking just to make sure that I'm healthy. I did walks this year, last year, like never before. And you can see there, that's my daughter's birthday. I'm very big on that. So I like to spend time with her. We went and watched Moana, the movie, and I celebrated her birthday. So that is me exposing my life. So you need to do your goals like this. You need to visualize what you want to do. And when you achieve them, celebrate the wins, put them in a picture, visualize them. You can see how I'm beaming on my face because I was like, oh, I did achieve that. Oh, that was really nice. Then lastly, but not the least on this slide before we go out, that's my mom, my late mom. She passed on October last year. And I can guarantee you, I did have quality time with her because for the last 5 years, she was staying in my house. So I did have a great time with her before she passed on. And for me, that was the greatest achievement of all time. So, Nsama, if we can go next to the other slide, I won't take much time. So at least you have a sneak peek into what my 2024 looked like. I'm very passionate about mentorship and I do it right. So one of the mentorship sessions with regards to Lancaster and Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, I was one of the best mentors of the week in that particular program. All right. And I had an opportunity to share a stage with my mentor, Dr. Nellie. We organized a Project Life Design celebration for those UN awardees that went last year. And as Dr. Nellie said, there's another group that is going this year. And I hope you can be one of those that can go in 2026 in that regard. Like I said, I'm a pastor. I'm very passionate about my spirituality. I enjoyed serving the Lord by ministering the word, and you can see that. And there were certain speaking engagements that are done. And if you see maybe the last two there, I got hired as a market research consultant. I have a master's in marketing that I'm not practicing in the corporate, but I use my marketing expertise in outside the corporate space. In the corporate, I'm purely practicing HR. But when I'm outside the corporate, I practice HR and I practice marketing. And one of the things that I had given up last year was writing my book. And I'm hoping that this year, my book will be published. Like Dr. Nellie said, I will be soon a published author. I'm just doing the final touches to my manuscript. And there we go. And last year, when we were closing the year, we did do some 2025 goal setting sessions with a certain group of people just to help them close the year strong. And I got to speak as well, delegating. Dr. Nellie did delegate that I represent her in a certain fora, and I represented her. So one of the other things challenges, the certain things that I needed to do that I didn't do. And I get to highlight the challenges and we get to speak about them with my mentor. One of the challenges that I experienced was insufficient funds. There were certain things I needed to do, but the funds were not there. So there we're going to break down with my mentor. Joyce, what do you mean by insufficient funds? Did you misappropriate funds or you didn't plan correctly? So we're going to have a brainstorming like that. Time management. I think time was running away from me, and that's something we're going to discuss with my mentor. And one last thing about my challenges for 2024 was dependency on others for key deliverables. There's some times that your goals you have set are very dependent on a third person. So sometimes you face challenges. So find a way to make sure that you utilize the person before they also get committed in other things. So in a nutshell, that's how my 2024 looked like. And I'm going to share slightly quickly my 2025. I'm just sharing one slide. My 2025 plan goes, and all these things that I've put up here will be up for discussion with my mentor. And I know she'll be poking holes in each one of them just to see that I have attached pain or pleasure, and I know exactly what I want to do. So, in summary, if we can go to the last slide about my 2025 goals. So, this is pictorial for me. So there's one car that I really love very much. It's called a Toyota Velfire. It's a sister car to the Toyota Alphard. Um, I'm getting that vehicle because it has certain pleasures attached to it in my philanthropy work. So I want that particular one. And as you know, as you get to grow and excel in the corporate, one other thing is that as I'm getting towards to being an HR director, one of the things that you need to do is that you need to subscribe and be professionally inclined to the Zambia Institute of Directors. That's something that I want to do. And I'm planning to be a board member, just to give guidance to the boards from an HR perspective and so forth. Like I said, I want to do my doctorate. The doctorate that I have is a honorary doctorate that I got from the UN in 2023. And I am getting into having a taught doctorate, and we're going to discuss with my mentor what it will be all about. Like I said, I've been writing a book last year, so I'm hoping that I could launch it this year. And you can see quickly there's something called career mentorship conferences, end period poverty. Those are things that I'm passionate about. Community school support by Girls for Girls is my NGO, and I'll be doing quite a bit of work around that. So one other thing is that I want to get a certification for being a career analyst, which is like a career coach. So I don't want people to just think, no, people just talk. We're going to get certified so that when we speak, there's credibility. When we speak, there's credibility in the things that we're saying. If you see me with a picture there with my little sister, I'm big time in her life this year, and that's why I put her there so that I assure myself that I am doing something in that direction. All right, so quickly, I don't even want to speak about most of my 2025 goals. So I just wanted to show you that this is what we'll be doing with you in the 3 months program. We're just going to make sure that you are started on a good note. We want to understand what you want to achieve and poke holes into it. What have you attached, pain or pleasure? How do you want us to support you? And that's what we're going to be doing. So in summary, if we can go to the last slide, just to show high level how we have planned out the 3-month goal setting, accountability, coaching, and mentorship program outline. So in January, what we'll be doing with you, starting with this session that we have started, is that January is about planning. So we're going to ensure that goals are set. We're going to ensure that we have action plans, meaning we break your goals into manageable targets across the year. And we're going to assign mentors and accountability partners to support you in your progress in the first 3 months of this year. In February, what we're going to be doing is a check-in phase. Check-in phase is that we're going to review your goals together, just to the ones that you will set this January, and just to ensure that they're still relevant and aligned to your aspirations. We're going to assess the progress, how you're finding the goals, what you have achieved. We're going to provide feedback and then adjust and refine your goals. That's what we're going to be doing with each one of you, those that will be joining this mentoring program. Lastly, but not the least, when we get into March, by 31st March, we need to have a review. So we're going to evaluate your Q1 progress, review the progress that you have made towards your Q1 goals, identify the goals that you have achieved and partially achieved and the ones that you have missed. Then we are going to help you reset your Q2 goals. Your Q1 will use the Q1 insights and refine and reset goals for the next quarter. Then lastly, but not the least, we're going to ensure that the goals are aligned with the broader annual objective. So this is what we're going to be doing in this 3 months goal setting, accountability, coaching, and mentoring program, just to help you level up and elevate and have a different year. How exciting will it be for you to just feel different about the year, achieve certain things you have failed to achieve over the years, and just help you get to the next level and elevate in your life. So we are looking forward to having each one of you take part in this program. This is a transformative program. So we're just not talking theory, we're talking practical, we're talking things we live by, we're talking about things we do, and we are hoping to help you also have good success. I see most of us on the call, we joined the Level Up 2025 platform. We have our able mentors and our coordinators that will begin speaking to you from tonight to tomorrow and just giving guidance on how the 3-month goal setting program will run. If you're interested, for those that are PLD members, for those that are not PLD members, we're just looking forward to have you on the call. So without further ado, we are 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and I would like to thank you for taking time to just listen to us, Dr. Nellie and myself, and just speak to you about how you can level up and elevate. And I would like to say that as we wind up this session, I would like you to go in that WhatsApp group, in that Level Up group. I know you were making comments on the online platforms, on YouTube, on LinkedIn and Facebook, but I would like you to just go and make comments, just give us your reactions of how this session has been and how we are going to level up and elevate together in 2025. So without further ado, I just want to ensure and just check if Dr. Nellie, you have any comments, any reactions that you'd like to make before we close, or we are closing from our end. Dr. Nellie, are you still with me in the back end of the studio? Is there any comment that you'd like to make, any closing remarks you'd like to make before we close the session? Dr. Nellie? Dr. Nellie, are you with us? All right, so I think Dr. Nellie is currently unavailable. So like I mentioned, I'd like to see your comments. I'd like to see your reactions. I'd like to see how you found the session and whether you are excited to level up and elevate in 2025. So from me and everybody from Project Life Design, we say good evening and welcome to 2025, the year of leveling up and elevating in every sphere of your life. So do have an amazing evening. Shalom, shalom.